Hey everybody, it's Melissa Feetsum, and I am so excited to introduce you guys to Paula Ramm today. She is joining us from Lilla Rose. She's actually a director from Lilla Rose, and she has her own business that she's also going to talk about. So she's very much like Directly Social. She started out with a very successful system in direct sales and went off on her own and started training people on how she became so successful with her own business. And I love that. I absolutely love that she's turning around and taking the knowledge that she has and sharing it with others so that they can do the same. So we are going to talk to Paula today about influencer marketing. We started talking a little bit about this. I think it was last summer, I want to say. I don't even remember, with Kelly Dakota. And we were dabbling in the elite group with some of the ideas and things like that. But she has taken this to an entirely new level and grown her direct sales team over 7,000 team members. So that's pretty incredible. I'm going to go ahead and let Paula introduce herself to you guys, and we are going to get started on a great call that I know you guys are going to love.
Well, thank you, Melissa. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so thankful and grateful to be on and talk to your viewers. I am just a homeschooling mom of 7 and, grandma of 3 now. And I am the last person you'd expect to be a direct sales person. I never had the desire to be in direct sales, but I fell in love with the product first. So that's how I got in. I found it at a homeschool convention, the hair clip, and I couldn't believe how well it worked. And I was in love and I was addicted. I didn't know it was a direct sales company. And so one summer I lost it when I was out camping, and I was distraught and devastated because I couldn't live without my hair clip. And so I hunted it down on the internet, and that's where I found out that it was a direct sales company and that I could earn money just by referring people to my website. And I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. I can do that, And at the same time, I was reading different blogs. I love blogs, and my favorite blogger, she said, I'm going to, open up my blog to advertising. Do you have a product you'd like me to review? And I'm like, the light went on. I'm like, oh, I can do that. I don't have to go out and talk to people. I can just quietly, do that from behind my computer. And so that's kind of the short story of how it started. I sent her one of my products to review, the Flexi Clip. That was our most popular flagship product, and she fell in love with it. She gushed about it to her audience on her blog, and then we ran a giveaway with it so someone could win one. And that kind of started it because her followers trusted her. They trusted her recommendation. So when she loved something and she recommended it to her followers, they were like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to try one of those. And so I couldn't believe it, but it did get sales and people asking about joining as a consultant, which I was totally shocked. I couldn't believe it, but super excited. And that's when I just dove in head first, contacting all the different bloggers I could that were in my my market. And we're going to talk about that more later. So it just started, snowballing, generating sales. And then the people who bought, the customers, loved it so much, they ended up enrolling as team members. And then also most of the bloggers, the influencers I worked with, loved it as well. And they saw how easy it was to sell on their blog. And so they would sign up as consultants as well. So it just kind of snowballed from there. So that's my story of how, someone who would never join direct sales got in direct sales, because we live in awesome times with the internet, and the things we can do on social media and blogs and influencers, and it's only getting better. There's only more influencers out there. Now it's not just blogs. You got Instagrammers, you got YouTubers, you got even people who have large Facebook groups that you can collaborate with. It's just it just keeps multiplying. There's more platforms out there. So it's an exciting time. So
It is. Yeah. The possibilities, like you said, are really endless. we were talking about one of the scrapbooker groups that I had reached out and contacted, and she was a local scrapbook group, and I think it took 9 months, I'm not even lying, 9 months for that woman to answer my message in Facebook.
Oh,
And when she did, she booked a party and, promoted it inside her group and everything. So for 9 months, I was like, I don't know if that works or not, but 9 months later. So it's amazing how, hammering away at those little details can really set you up for success if you're doing that consistently too. So that's one of the key things that direct sellers on every front need to understand: the consistency involved in this. This isn't something that you just go out and do one time. This is something you do consistently in your business, is tapping into these. So
right. If you're in one particular market or one niche, one avatar, they'll probably see you if you're on multiple places, multiple blogs, or if they see you on Instagram, they see you on YouTube, they're going to be like, what's the deal with this? What's the excitement about this? I'm missing out. I want to try this. So that really helps. I think that helped for people to be seeing it everywhere, so yeah, definitely do more than one and get out there.
Love it. So, okay, give us a quick rundown of the concept of influencer marketing, because it's a really powerful concept, and it's really the entire 2019 focus of all social media, from brands like Coca-Cola to, the smaller business. I think small business is what started this movement that has carried up to these big companies, and it's kind of the theme of 2019 is influencer marketing. So tell them, because not many people know a whole lot about it. So tell them about that influencer.
Yeah, right. So I like to compare it to, imagine your best party hostess ever. That hostess who was so enthusiastic. She loved your product. She had lots of friends, and she gushed about it to her friends. And of course, those parties do much better than the ones with the hostess who's, not quite so enthusiastic. So this is just like having a party hostess who's enthusiastic and loves a product, but she has tens of thousands of followers now instead of just her circle of friends. So it's just exponentially growing that idea of getting, out to lots of people. But the key is, they have to know, like, and trust that influencer, just like they would their good friend who's doing a party. So some people hear influencer marketing and they think of just big celebrities and big companies, right? And it's much more effective for just us small people. The small business owner, the direct sellers can utilize this like micro influencer marketing, micro influencers who have smaller followings, but they are much more engaged. They, follow that influencer, wholeheartedly and respect her recommendations. So you actually get a better result with a little bit smaller influencer than if you were to go and contact some celebrity or something. So, but it is exciting, and it is only growing, and the platforms are growing, and it's just crazy exciting.
It's fun. It's so fun too, because, sometimes in direct sales, we tend to get really bored. Actually, any small business, it doesn't matter what type of business you're running. You get bored in the mundane and the routines of what you're used to doing. And sometimes you just need, I always say, you're just one idea away from a new beginning. And one file could change somebody's entire perspective on the whole year. Like, it could inspire someone. So taking one, new niche or one new influencer marketing idea and running with it could totally transform your business in ways that you just don't have any idea. The scariest step is always getting started. So I would really like to kind of walk through, for everyone listening right now. And if you're listening right now, you should totally share this video, because everybody needs to hear what's coming up. So go ahead and share this video with your friends, tag your friends in the comments below. But let's talk about the first step in actually finding somebody who is going to help you market your business? Like, what goes through your head, and where do you take that first giant step in saying, okay, I really want to try this, and I think this is a really great idea. So how am I going to find my niche, and where do I go from there? What's my first step? Because that's the biggest roadblock, is that first step for everybody, thinking, oh, this isn't going to work for me. I don't know anybody. This is totally not going to work for me.
This is the fun part. This is what I found fun. I still think, I just saw it as a game, like a treasure hunt. So if you change your thinking that way, that's just a treasure hunt, and you're going to find dead ends and duds, but you're also going to find some really awesome people to work with. It's just fun. And, you know, the more I've been in this, the more I realize the importance of really knowing who is your ideal lifelong customer, because, you know, the value of a customer is 10 times their initial purchase if you continue that relationship. So you want to, you know, attract the people who are going to buy from you again and again. And who is that person? And that's going to vary depending on who you are and your product. And so the first step is research. It's like, okay, who is that person? And the best way, well, the first way to find that ideal customer is to look at yourself, right? Because probably the ideal customer is somebody very similar to you. So like, what books do you read? What blogs do you follow? What are your hobbies? You know, do you have kids? You know, it's just, you know, learn as much about your ideal customer as possible. And then beyond that, you might want to look at one of your best customers you have already, the one who orders again and again, and stalk or research her, you know, and find out, okay, my best, check out several of your best customers. Okay, what blogs do they follow? What likes do they have? And learn all about them. And you can do this on any of their social media. It's easy on Facebook to go click on the About button and see all their likes, you know, all their the books they like, the movies they like, and you can learn a lot about your ideal customer that way. And you might find some surprising things about your ideal customers, common threads that might blow your mind, that it doesn't make any sense. It's not related to your product at all. So like when I was researching my customer, I realized they all like cats. And like, you know, so, you know, I might want to reach out to a cat influencer. And so it's getting beyond the obvious, okay? Because you might find, you know, you sell organizing bags, but you might find that all of your best customers are really into underwater basket weaving or something. So you might not only reach out to influencers who are in the organizing niche, you know, home decor, organizing, decluttering, Marie Kondo or something like that, but you might want to reach out to the underwater basket weaving influencers, even though it's not related at all to your product, but these are the influencers that your ideal lifelong customer is following. So that's kind of a big key, kind of a big secret, because I know like in my company, Lilla Rose, a lot of people who've tried this, they might automatically go to the high fashion YouTubers or Instagrammers who are young and they're trendy. And like my avatar is not a real hip, trendy person. You know, she's like a mom, you know, stay-at-home mom, homeschooler. You know, I have a lot of homesteaders, you know, they're not out there with the perfect hair and makeup and stuff. So they're not following these influencers. So on the surface, you think that might be a good person to reach out to, but then I encourage you to look below the surface. Who it really is your ideal customer? Who are they following? Who do they trust? You know, and it might be, you know, a mom blogger or something like that that's totally different, or in some hobby or niche that is totally unrelated. So that's the biggest key. It's just doing your research, researching your customer. Once you stock your customer, then of course you'll want to find who they're following. And a lot of times that's easy too, because you can see it right on their Facebook page, what pages they like, and you can find who they're following right there. And you can find that on Pinterest or Instagram or wherever. Not much information about you is private anymore. You're basically telling the world all about yourself. So it's easy to find out what influencers your perfect customer is following. So that's one of my biggest things I love to talk on right now, because it is so important and key. It's just looking beyond the obvious. And that, you know, because let's say you're in 31 and you go with the underwater basket weaving influencer, you can pretty much guarantee there's nobody else in your entire company in that niche, right? You've basically got it to yourself. So it sets you apart from everybody else in your company who might be going after the organizing blogs or the high fashion hair blogs or whatever your product is. So
I love it. Yes. And finding that's the exciting part, is finding out that, you know, indirect sales, you come to this point in business to begin with. You come to this point where, you know, Eric Worre comes to mind with GoPro, where you're like, okay, so I talked to all my friends and I talked to all my family, and now I can't sell anything because they've already bought everything, and that's my circle and that's the end. And then you realize that, oh my gosh, there's like spider legs everywhere. You can actually go down all of these different avenues to find new customers and new people. And there are no, you know, it just never ends. The possibilities never ends when you find all of these little niches and avenues and alleys that you can go down. And that's what I look at it like. It's like this little alley that you can go down and find this whole world that you didn't even know existed. So that's a lot of fun. Now, you have a training that we're going to talk about in a minute too, but it goes over in completely in depth of these 8 tips for influencer marketing and how to get started and how to contact them. I mean, you get really down and dirty with how to go about all of these 8 steps. So I would love for you to kind of walk through those 8 steps and just give us a little bit about how you're going to walk through this process, because it's pretty cool.
Okay. The first one is finding that great influencer or the blog or the influencer you want to work with. And as I said before, it has to be somebody that your ideal customer is following. And if you've done your research, you'll find a lot. There are tons out there. Then you start researching her. You start stalking her, right? You'll want to look at her stats. Well, the biggest thing is she enthusiastic? Check out her other giveaways. Did they get a lot of participation? Did she rave and gush about that product? And sometimes I'll even contact previous businesses that she's done reviews and giveaways for and say, hey, what was your results with her? You know, and that will give you some feedback. Another big thing is engagement. Check out her engagement on her Facebook page or comments on her blog posts or YouTube or wherever you're finding her. That's a big sign. More than numbers, more than followers is engagement, how they're engaging with her, you know, and that'll tell you a lot. So number 1 is finding that influencer you want to work with. 2, if you're in direct sales, you want to make sure that another rep in your company has not already advertised there or worked with her. It's just kind of just being considerate and letting them have, you know, their relationship with that influencer, not stepping on any toes. And then also, you don't want to, I don't know if, you know, a lot of direct sales companies have cookies. So you don't want to work with somebody and then they actually buy from somebody else because of cookies on their computer. So a rule of thumb I have is about a year to make sure no other rep in my company has worked with that influencer. And then, of course, you want to find out what the blog offers. Some will do it for free and some will do it for a fee. And you can find this on their blog. There's usually a tab marked PR or advertising or media kit. Sometimes you'll have to email them to find out that information. And then you want to check out what are her stats. You know, you want a good sized influencer, not too big, not too small. Find that sweet spot. But again, engagement is even more important than numbers. So then you'll contact the blog owner, introduce yourself. You want it just to be a quick introduction, who you are, what you're doing, what company you're with, why you love your product. See if she's interested, ask her for her media kit. So you're starting the conversation that way. And then if she says yes, then you'll start the exciting part of actually getting that schedule, your review and giveaway scheduled on her calendar. And then you manage the details, like what are the entries going to be? How are they going to enter? So starting to rain here, so it's getting kind of noisy. So like you'll want people who are, you want to get value out of the people who are entering your giveaway. And like there's different things might be more valuable to you, like joining your VIP customer Facebook group is probably very valuable, getting them on your email list, having them like your Facebook page or follow you on Pinterest or Instagram. These are all ways people can earn entries to win your item. And this is very valuable because then you can continue the relationship and follow up with them so they don't just hear about you once and forget about you. Okay, so when I first started, I left all the collecting the entries up to the influencer, and they might comment below her blog post or something like that. But I've since learned that it's better to get contact info for every entrant. So you want to be sure to get email addresses. So the best way to do that, if you're just starting out, use something like Google Forms, or if you're in FitFu or some other customer relationship management thing that does that, that's a great way to collect entries and get their email address. Or you can use a viral platform like KingSumo or UpViral. So right now, I say the number one thing you want are email addresses, because then you can continue that relationship. I would say the number two thing is probably your VIP Facebook group, because that's a great place for developing relationships in your Facebook groups. Okay, so then once the giveaway goes live, well, first you want to send the influencer your sample product so she can try it and love it. And hopefully, if you have a great product, and I'm sure you do, she's going to fall in love with it and gush about it. So you send that to her, either through your inventory, you order it through the website for her. And then she'll, it's best if she can do videos of it or her own photos, but some might not be willing to do that. And you can just send her photos you have or videos you have that she can use. And be clear on what you're giving away, because sometimes misunderstandings happen. So it's all about being clear. And so then she'll put the giveaway on her blog or on Instagram or wherever her big platform is. And you are collecting the entries through Google Forms or KingSumo or something. You pick a winner, make sure you have the date set when winner will be chosen, if you want the winner in the US or internationally. So let's see. Okay, then you'll pick a winner, and she can announce it, or you can announce it on your page. Send the winner a nice email, congratulations. And another big thing to watch out for when giveaways go live is that all your links work. Always check it out when it goes live. Make sure it all looks good. She's not saying you're giving away $1,000 worth of stuff when you meant to give away only $10 worth of stuff. Make sure there's no surprises, because sometimes surprises happen or links don't work. So just check those out. Okay. So yeah, and through this, just again, be considerate of your fellow direct sales consultants. Don't try to take other people's customers, that all goes without saying. Just be, don't say, switch to me, or anything like that. Just be considerate. Then of course, then you'll send the winner the prize and follow up, make sure she likes it and she got it. And then all the follow-up begins. Step 8 is follow-up. And this is really key, because you might get a few sales in the beginning, but most of the sales are going to happen after you follow up with people, after they're in your Facebook group or your email list and they hear about you several times. And then you'll start seeing more sales come in and more people interested in joining your team. So that's a brief rundown of my 8 step. There's a lot more in there that I could talk all day on, because I love talking about it, but it is like a treasure hunt. It's been fun. It is fun. So see it as fun and a treasure hunt.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I actually bought your training, and I have to say that is the first training that I've ever bought. I don't go out and
wow.
follow,
I'm honored.
doing, but I saw the idea and I read a few links and things that you had done, and I was like, this is like fascinating. I love it. And then when I bought the training, I didn't actually run through the whole training, but I looked at all the steps and I was like, wow, this is really in depth. I can tell that you took a lot of time on the actual training that you created and everything. So I'm actually excited to have the time to dive in. And we were talking and I said, I just finished everything for March. I'm so excited. I actually have time to go take your training now after I have that margarita. So I'm pretty excited about that too. But one thing that I did want to say when you were talking about making sure that the links work, I've seen this happen quite a few times where I had a conversation about a month ago with somebody who was doing some kind of influencer marketing. It was a small business and like locally, it was like a boutique or something. And they were trying to cross promote and they were doing a giveaway. And she said it to me, and I don't think I got back in time for the giveaway. But when I did message her back, I was like, oh, this is so complicated. Like the giveaway itself was so complicated that there were so many steps that you couldn't even understand what was going on. And I was like, you really have to chop this down into like 3 steps that they have to. Don't have more than 3 steps that these people have to do, because it's not a science project. It's a giveaway. It's supposed to be fun. So make sure that you're not like, oh, you have to do this and then give me your firstborn child and your social security number. It is.
Because you want all the likes and you want all that.
Yes. Yeah, the most important things that you want, I want you to follow my business page, and I want you to join my group, and I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. It is easy to pile on you have to do this to be entered, but you really need to go in with that focus of, okay, this is what I have to get out of this. This is my main goal of this giveaway is going to be this. So really hone down that focus. And then something that me and Kelly did that worked really, really well is we actually came up with a post together, and I sent her and she sent it back with edits, and we kind of swapped and went back and forth so that we were checking each other's links and doing all of that and making sure that there were no spelling errors and everything was golden. So that was another thing that worked really well too, was making sure that post when you posted it was golden. And then the sharing part after too. So we didn't stop there. We took that for a week and ran with it for like however long that was going, which you don't want it to go too long either. But we had okay, now we're going to share it in our customer group. Now we're going to share it on our Facebook page. Now we're going to share it on Instagram. Now we're going to do this. So have steps during that giveaway. Don't just post it and run and go hide and see what happens. You have to hit the pavement hard when you do this. So that's another thing to think about too. So would you like to tell them about that training that I already bought? We're going to give them the link in just a minute, but I want you to tell them how they can learn every ounce of the details for all of this so that they can replicate and do it.
Right. So the course is on how to actually find the perfect influencer for your product and your perfect lifelong customer. And this is like one of the biggest questions out there is, how do you find these people? How do you know where to look? What's the first step? And also I've had people saying, hey, I wish I could just sit down with you at your computer and see exactly how you stock or research, your customer and the influencers. And so that's what I did in this course. I like, okay, I'll do a course. I'll screen share my computer and show exactly how you can find influencers that would be perfect for you and your company and your product. So that's what I do in the course. It's just kind of a step-by-step way showing you exactly how to find these people that you can work with to grow your business.
Love it. And that's, how much was it?
$27.
$27, well worth every penny. So I will put a link for that in the post above as soon as we're done here. And you guys will find some follow-up details on YouTube, and you know me, it's going to go everywhere. So you'll find this video again. You won't be able to miss it. So if you loved it, please reach out and say thank you to Paula for taking the time out of your day today. I really, really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us over.
Thank you, Melissa. This was fun.
Welcome. You're welcome. And if you guys are just now joining us, definitely go over to the Directly Social group. Join us over there. And you have a group also, Paula. What's your Facebook group?
My Facebook group is Online Marketing Lab.
Online Marketing Out Loud?
Lab. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can find out what's working now.
All right. And you can put that in the comments too. If you want to throw a group out there, you can join one of her groups also. So lots of great details here. We will get you some links, and thank you all for joining us. I'll talk to you soon, Paula.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.